Hi, I am Dr. Julie Kay, and I am here with a human design experience, the Miami edition. And we've been taking time to interview all of our featured speakers who are going to be presenting in Miami. And this is going to be April 9th through the 12th, and that's 2026. It's coming up. And it is all day on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be classes and experiences and comedy and lots of secret surprises. And, anyways, I wanted to just get on YouTube today with all of you and interview one of our co founders of a Human Design Experience Miami, as well as one of our featured speakers. So, welcome, Jess Tilly.
Hi.
Thank you for taking the time to let me interview you and ask you some questions. So many people are so used to seeing you ask the questions. So you're on the hot seat right now. So just quickly, a little bit of like, how long have you been around the human design world? What introduced you originally? And, what really resonated with you when you first heard about this system? Just give me a little of your history and how it all began.
Yes, I love that. And it's so funny because I'm so used to asking the questions that I'm like, okay, let's go. You're like, ha 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 ha. I get to ask just anything. I love it. It's fun. Let's see. So human design was really interesting for me because when I first was introduced to human design, so I come from a background in like manifestation, and like just like abundance mindset, a lot of like neural pathway rewiring, that kind of world. And I was on a call with someone and they had this giant chart in the background of their Zoom, and I was like, that is the ugliest thing to to have as your background. I don't even remember what she was talking about because I was so deeply engrossed in looking at it and going, this must be something really special. This must mean something to them for them to have that on their wall. And then I was like, look at those angles. Those are like really sharp, harsh angles on there too. And I sat and overanalyzed this chart, and that was my first time. And I was like, what is that? And then I started to hear more about human design. And it was so funny because at first it was like, oh, this is amazing. It's this that fits with this, how it all comes together. And I was like, yes, this is it. And then I went, no, no, it can't be. Like, there's no way. And I know we talked about it for you as well. You also had that moment. You're like, no, I'm going to disprove this. And I was like, it can't be, right? I've been searching my whole life to understand, like, how is this person so different? With coaching, it's like this person, it's working. Why is it not working for this person? Why is it so different, right? For each individual person. And then with my kids, when I started to look at their human designs, that was it. I was done for. I was like, oh, yep, this is it. And understanding them and allowing them to be who they are and being able to shift the way I would have conversations with them instead of like, why are you doing it this way? Like, I don't understand. It's like, I see you're doing it this way. But, I've shared the story before with Lily where she was climbing up, my 6'3", who's a 3'3", climbing up. And she's like, I want to see how the fan works. Opening up the fan, I'm like, and my head went, what are you doing? But then I was like, she's experimenting, she's playing. And I was like, I love that you're curious. I was like, let's go get Pop. Let's ask Pop to help you. Let's do this in a safe manner. And so being able to understand like who they are, that was it for me. That's where I really deeply dove deep in. And so, yeah, when I got my certification, that was with the lens of business as well. But it was just, for me, it was never the business side. It was always the relational side and through the kids and for me, parenting.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people know your chart, but just if anybody happens to stumble across this YouTube and they aren't coming to Miami or they discover this later on, what is your type? What's your strategy? What's your authority? Or,
Yes.
or variables, whatever you want to share, just so people know.
um, you know, when I say this, this actually makes my heart a little bit sad. I'm a 4'6", and for anyone who knew Jan Groot, he recently passed, and when I met him in Ibiza, it was actually this beautiful moment. He was like, you with your little bows. He's like, you are just like you're a 4'6", like that is it. And it just, yeah, that makes me shout out to everyone who's missing him. He was a beautiful person in the community. So yeah, 4-6 Sacral Generator. So I am here to respond. I respond. You've experienced it. I'm like, I get so excited about things and creating. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. So I know you've been helping out with a lot of other conferences around the world, and that's why people know of you, and that's your four doing its thing. So I'm just curious. I want to, instead of you being this friendly networker, just being so social, we want to hear your wisdom as well.
Yeah.
So I know you don't have to give us all the secrets of what you're going to talk about in Miami,
Yeah.
but if you don't mind giving us a few little like things that we can get excited about
Yeah.
if we get to sit in the audience and listen to your wisdom,
Yeah.
what experience or what's a topic or what's a subject matter that you really want to share with us in Miami?
That's a beautiful question because it's still landing. And so I think, just me being me, the core of the message and what I bring is inspiration and hope. And so I think it's this place of, it's going to be definitely something where we're going to be moving and doing some kind of movement. It can potentially be some kind of aura experiment. We talked about because we're on Mangoes that day. So we're right by the beach. Maybe we're going to go play on the beach. Does this look like, maybe something with art therapy and drawing and doing something in the sand potentially? Is this something where we're playing with auras? Is this something? It's going to be diving into a place of permission to be you, but seeing what's actually there in a playful, fun manner.
Okay, I love it. You didn't give us any clue as to what you're talking about. Thank you very much.
Surprise.
No, but it gave us some ideas, and you are right. And I know I live in Miami as well, and if it rains, we'll have to like adjust and adapt. We're adaptable, but that would be fun. Okay,
Yeah.
so everybody who's listening, maybe Jess is going to take us out to the beach. So make sure you pack your flip flops, and I'm going to try to get some skincare samples for everybody because it is sunny here.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
I've been on the beach when it's raining, and I have a bunch of umbrellas. So who knows? It doesn't rain or shine. Maybe we'll be on the beach. But
There's something so fun on being in the beach when it's raining. Yes, yes.
no, it's like the water lands, and it's like it's dancing in the
Mm,
ocean. So
yeah,
okay, well we're gonna just
yeah.
have to come to Miami, and there are still tickets available, and
Mhm.
maybe who knows? Jess is gonna do something fun with us. That's
Yes,
exciting.
yes.
Okay, so I wanted to. So you have two daughters, correct? And what are
Yes.
their types? So I'm just curious.
Yeah, so we're a generator house. So yeah, Lily's an emotional generator. Yeah. So she's a 6-3, and then Savannah is a 4-1. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So I just
Yeah.
know there are lots of people coming that also are parents and mothers and daughters.
Mhm.
And I myself, I'm not a generator, but I was born into a family of generators. So that'll be a fun topic to talk about. And I know, like Raw wanted parents to know about this for the children.
Yes. Yes.
So let's go back a little bit further to, we were discussing maybe doing something in Miami. And so I
Mhm.
want to kind of let us get to know you a little bit better. What kind of was your hot button or your decision that kind of made your sacral go, uh-huh, I want to do a 4-day, thing in experience in Miami? Like what were like the things that really resonated with you and your decision making that went, uh-huh.
For creating this event,
Yeah.
I would say it's when the three of us got together and we went to that Holly Festival, and it was just so much fun. And we were dancing and we were laughing, and there were other people dancing. And for anybody who doesn't know, it is such a beautiful, I think it's a festival of light, is what it is.
Color
Um,
throw. The
the
color throw.
color, yeah, the color. And so they have all these amazing colors, and every hour they throw it up and they dance, and then people come and they ask and they check and they're like, can I put color? And they put it on your face, your clothes, and it's just this expression of love, this expression of joy. And we had so much fun, and we're like, oh, let's get together to talk about this, to create this. And our getting together was play. And I was like, these are people I can play with. These are people who prioritize having fun and feeling connected and doing something like this. And it's a different feeling. So for me, that was like, yes, this feels so good. And also different, like this place where we can do things in a disruptive way, which I'm so excited about.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So I'm going to ask you a question you probably weren't expecting
Yeah.
is
Bring it.
as a mother
Mm-hmm.
and as raising generator children, give
Mm-hmm.
us a tip. Like, how do you parent two generator kids? What have you learned not to do, or what, like, just any other mother that maybe has generator children that are younger than your children, like, what has been so helpful about knowing their charts and parenting? Give us some
Yeah.
motherly tips.
Oh, let's see. I mean, there's so much, but the biggest tip is allowing them to be themselves because that level of frustration when you try and push and force is going to come and you're going to experience it. So finding the satisfaction, finding the way for the fun way to do things. Like none of us like to do the chores, but all of us love dancing. So we put on weird hats, we put on fun music, and we dance more than we clean, but like we do things in a fun way, you know? So really just allowing them to be themselves. And, you know, the more you learn about their chart, a huge thing for me with Lily, so she is, again, she's emotional. And she's got the 59-6, which is intimacy, right? But it's open or it's closed. So sometimes she's very loving. She's very there. She's very present. She's like sitting, we're snuggling. And sometimes she's like, I don't want anything to do with you. And understanding that was huge. It's just the understanding. So it's not even necessarily something to do. It's going, ah, I see. It's a no for her right now. She's riding her wave. She's doing her thing. She wants space and holding that space for her when she's ready to reconnect and asking, like, hey, you know, did you want to read a book right now? Did you want to do this thing? And if it's a no, that's okay that you don't, it's not this pushing because before, you know, I feel like it would have been something along the lines of like, oh, she's different right now. What happened? What do I need to fix? What do I need to do? It's just allowing. She's doing it. She's doing what she needs. She's doing what feels good to her. And it's really interesting because sometimes she'll come and she'll sit. I was lying on this poof the one time. And she came and she sat on my back and she started putting her feet on my feet and playing with them, where she wasn't quite ready to talk yet, but was ready for that connection, starting to get that connection back again. So the biggest thing I think is just learning about their design, learning who they uniquely are as individuals, because we tend to parent from a place of what did I want? How did I want this to be, right? Versus like, what do they need? Or what, you know, what does society say is the correct way of doing something? And just really allowing and supporting them to be who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually kind of took the words out of my mouth for my next question is, I mean, just for fun, just between you and I and all of YouTube, how is the conditioning like from the school? How is the conditioning from other relatives? And what, I mean, how is that for you to let your children be who they are, but then seeing them have to come up against conditioning? And I mean, it's so beautiful that you're a mom who knows human design. Like, I want you
Yes.
to adopt me, but like for
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
like give us your real thoughts and opinions about the conditioning that mothers have to watch their kids be subjected to. Tell,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure you have a feeling or thought
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I really just want to pause for a second and say, like, I'm human, and where it's like, oh, that's amazing. You know, her kids, they're growing up with human design. But, you know, there's times I yell at my kids. There's times where, you know, these things are that happen, but you're still, yeah. I think sometimes because people are like, oh, you're such a great mom. I'm like, yes. And, you know, there's also these moments where you're like, oh, shit. And you get really good at apologizing. You get really good at going, I didn't handle that well, right? So as far as conditioning, my children are fierce. And they, in a way, are almost conditioning their friends because they're coming in. I went to a karma clearing event, and Lily went to school and she told all of her friends what karma was and what you're putting out and how it's coming back. And the beautiful thing is, a lot of my friends down here are very open to this. And so we've actually done readings with their kids, like what are their energy types? How do they show up? And with the parents. So in the network here, it's actually people are very open to it, which is beautiful. Um, as far as the school, again, it is amazing the school that they go to because the number one priority there is do the kids feel safe? do the kids feel emotionally connected, and they have they have their feelings doctor is what they call her, and she comes and visits the kids every week. And she's a normal part of what's happening at school. So when they go speak with her, it's just normal, it's natural. So I will say that we're very, very lucky, where the kids do go to school because they are very deeply loved and nurtured, and they're taught in a way where it's like, hey, this is one way to do it. This is break apart math. This is whatever math. It's crazy. What works best for you? Let's learn the different methods and then let's see, right?
Mhm.
Um, but there's also, I mean, there's always conditioning. And so speaking to the kids, and this is something I really want to say thank you to Barbara Lenoble. I met her in Ibiza. And before I spoke with her, I used to talk to my kids like, oh, you're sacral. Oh, you're this. And she was like, are you now conditioning them to fit into this box versus speaking about how does this show up in your body? So teaching them about that openness within ourselves where we're picking up things from others, especially in our household for Savannah, because I laughed, when I was taking the parenting course with Barbara Ditlow, fantastic. If anybody's looking for an amazing parenting class, hers was phenomenal. And she's like, Savannah, everyone thinks Savannah's the problem child with emotions, right? And I laughed so hard because Savannah's more expressive. So she has an undefined solar plexus, right? And Lily has a defined solar plexus. So Savannah is amplifying a lot of it, right? So she's expressing a lot of it. Also, she's a Manny Gen. So she's, yes, very, very vocal, very busy. And so just having that awareness and speaking to them and just having this place of like they get to feel what they're feeling and being able to move it. And so it's just almost like an awareness within them. And it's kind of cool to see how for us sometimes it's like, oh, wait, hold on, let me think. And for them, it's a little bit more natural. It's like, yeah, this is who I am. And sometimes when they're in moods, it's like, okay, this is just the way it is. This is the cloud that's going through right now, and it's okay. Yeah.
Great. So, all right, we're going to get a little, two more questions and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So,
Yeah.
whether it's the Miami, a Human Design Experience Miami,
Yeah.
or Ibiza or Oslo or all the other places that you've been either a participant, an attendee, or a co-facilitator or a co-organizer,
Mhm.
what's the most challenging part about being in the kind of human design conference business?
The most challenging part. I think for me, the most challenging part would be knowing this is really funny because I have a defined sacral, like knowing when enough is enough, right? Because
Mm.
you can always see, and I love you for this so dearly because you're so good. I'm like, wait, 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 hold on. We can do this and this and this and this and this. And you're like, that's great. You're like, yes, Jess. And like, prioritizing. So I'd say a bit of prioritizing and a bit of like going, this is amazing. We don't have to keep adding and doing more things just because I can see and potentially that's like channel of judgment that's always like, oh, how do we get this, perfect? So being aware of that within myself, I'd say finding that place, that balance, because it's very, very easy to spend a lot of time and put a lot of energy into that. So I'd say the balance piece. And I'd say yoga is helping with that for sure, getting me deeply, deeply grounded. What else is challenging? The mind. I'd say the mind. Definitely the mind because the stories and the things, and this is where there's so much beautiful growth because sometimes there's no response to move and there's nothing there. And that's when the mind starts to get really busy about, like, wait, wait, you have to be doing this. Why are you not doing this thing? Or it should look this specific way. But then you sit and amazing things happen. Like the craziest. I mean, how many times have we been on the call and we're like, what? How? This is like fantastic. Like the question of like how, and it's like, cause you sat. Cause you sat.
Uh,
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, I know I'm just getting back at you because you asked me those hard questions
I
too.
know. So for
Those
anybody
are
who's
very good.
watching, we don't have a pre-recorded list of like what I have no
Oh,
idea what she's okay. Ask me something like wild and crazy. Anything, Julie. You can ask me anything
um,
right now.
well, yeah. So, you know, this is a little bit different than a lot of other, human design gatherings. And
Yeah,
so I guess just as a student of the system, is
yeah.
there a subject matter? Is there an area of human design that you still want to geek out on? Is there maybe somebody bringing a topic? You don't have to name names that you're just like, I'm so excited to learn that part that I really never went and geeked out on that before. I'm like, what are you looking forward to kind of learning more or being inspired to learn more of like what's going to happen in Miami, like kind of like, oh, that teacher's coming and they're teaching that. I don't know much about that. Like, I really want to like something you're looking forward to kind of like learning from, or some an area that you're like, I never went down variables, or I never went down biohacking, or like what's kind of like, I know a lot, but I still want to go down that rabbit hole. What, for you, is that happening in Miami? And tell us about what you're looking forward to.
That's so funny because when you started asking that question, I was like, the hugs. And I'm like, that's not
I
knowledge. And
know.
my brain's like, Jess, that's not knowledge. And I'm like, no, the hugs and the people and like seeing the moment where people have permission to be their like goofy, wacky selves. Like that's what I'm so excited for. Knowledge, I'd have to think about that. The knowledge, I mean, you said not to name anything, but I am so freaking excited. Like Karen and Natalie are coming with BG5 to experience it, right? Because I was like, oh dear God, BG5 business. Ugh. Like for the longest time, everything is being like business. Ugh, I don't want it, like, but they are so much fun. And the way they're talking about it in the session I did with Natalie, I was like, oh my God, this is like really helpful and it's playful. And it just for me opened that box of like, it can still be fun and playful and be business, right? Like noticing where those boxes are. So I'd say information wise, I'm really excited to step into that more, but I'm excited for literally everybody to hear their perspectives on things and how they've taken something and the way that they're uniquely sharing it. And so I don't know, everything, I guess,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
hugs.
I knew you were going to say play and hugs and play and hugs. So I tried to curate a question that wouldn't be the obvious Jess answer, which is
Yeah.
beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we're going to wrap this up in a couple minutes here, but it just like, is there something you want to share about yourself or about human design or about our conference that you're like, oh, Julie didn't ask me that question. I really want to share this. Like, is there just some random piece of information? Like, I want people to know this about me. Is there something else you just want to throw in there before we kind of sign off for today?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything about me personally, but if anybody has questions, like feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them. I think what I really want people to know is that this is going to be such a deep place of love, a place where you really get to be you. And if you want to show up again, like this thing, I don't know where this purple wig thing is coming from. If you want to come with a purple wig one day and have fun and get to express yourself as you are, like this is the place to do that, right? Where you get to step out of the life that you've built in the way that you think you have to do it and really get to experience like, how does this feel in my body? How does this feel for me? And maybe giving yourself that extra permission that it's like, oh, you know what? Whatever the thing is for you, it's different for everybody, and get to be that. Get to be you and show up fully as yourself. And also, when you're like, ah, this doesn't feel great, that it gets to be like, no, this doesn't feel great. I'm going to go sit. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Be you.
I,
Be you. Bring it.
I'm going to go sit on the bed. I'm going to go take a nap because you can do it. This is a place where you can go. So, one of our locations, it has beds, it has couches. And if you're like, you know what, right now, I'd really like to go lie down, you can go and do that. And that just makes me so giddy. So, I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. She is. I am the opposite. I want to learn, 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 and
Yes.
exhaust myself, and my brain be full of information. And I'm not
Yeah.
napping through anything. But anyways, enough about
Right.
that.
Isn't
Well,
it so funny?
yeah. I just want to thank you for letting me put you on the hot seat and letting me ask you some questions that you had no idea what I was going to ask, and just to be willing and be open, and you could have said pass or no comment, but I love that you courageously and bravely, even answered my surprise, challenging questions. And just for all of you that don't already know or haven't already found out, yes, myself and Jess and Monique, we're the co-founders, and this is going to be ahumandesignexperience.com, the Miami edition. It's going to be here in Miami, Florida in April. And that's April 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, 2026. There are still tickets available. You can go to our website, and we are on Facebook and Instagram. And now with this, we have an amazing collection of speaker interviews. You can get to know every one of our speakers before you even decide purchase this really, really good deal of a ticket. We have all the speakers interviewed on our YouTube channel. So A Human Design Experience on YouTube. And please comment, share. We want to interact with you. And with all of that, thank you, Jess Tilly. And we appreciate that. If somebody wanted to do a reading with you, or I know we talked a lot about parenting and being a mother, I'm guessing there's women, that are probably even mothers in your children's school. Like, how can they have a reading or an appointment with you so you can coach these mothers? Give us all your contact details, and then we'll sign off.
You know what? That's so funny you say that, because I just changed my website and I took down my readings. I took down everything. And
Oh,
right now, that's in a pause. And it was funny. Someone reached out and they're like, hey, are you doing readings right now? And I was like, no, right now I'm not. And it's funny because I'm across the four ways. So I'm going through a pivot right now. And it's interesting to see that. But I will say, parents, mothers, children is a passion of mine. Absolutely. Reach out, Jess Tilly at corecalling.com. Check the website. Maybe at a later date, I will update it on there when I'm like, okay, I want to do readings again. I want to jump back into it. But right now, yeah, I don't know. It just felt correct to be like, no, this is not there. So yeah.
okay. And she's on Facebook a lot, people.
Oh
So
yeah.
her email or Facebook, or you can reach her through our humandesignexperience.com website as well.
Yes.
So thank you very much. It was a pleasure getting to know you better. And this will
Yes.
be on YouTube if anybody wants to rewatch it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Julie. Bye.